When people look back at their first experience with Team Fortress 2, it usually involves downloading Steam for the first time on the shittiest computer known to man, asking your mom to bypass the annoying ass fucking download thing she put on it, what the fuck man, and blazing through a brand new magical place called 2 Fort at a whopping 15 FPS. If you're the weirdest guy of all time though, your first experience with Team Fortress 2 probably involves one of these things. Or maybe it involves one of these things, but that's too weird, man. Nowadays, when discussing the Xbox 360 version of TF2, people seem to treat it like some weird novelty that nobody ever really even played. Like, yeah, you know, it was there, but who wanted to rocket jump with this? Well, you know, me. The Xbox 360 version of TF2 was the very first version of TF2 that I ever played. While now it's viewed as some gimped alternate universe version of real TF2, back in the day, this pretty much was real TF2. I can only speak for myself as a certified console kid, but I never really got the vibe that console players felt like they weren't playing TF2. As far as we were concerned, we were playing the same version of TF2 that released on the PC. Sometime shortly after the
Sniper vs. Spy
update for Team Fortress 2, I think pretty much all hope was lost that Valve or EA or whoever would push out an update for the Xbox 360 version of TF2. I mean, yeah, I was mad. You know, I wanted the cool hats and stuff, but the truth was my mom didn't even let me use her credit card on the computer anyways, so I wasn't even really missing out on much. Plus, there was still something really strange and unique that the Xbox version of TF2 had over the PC version. Something that without extensive modding, the PC version would never, ever be able to have. Now I know what you're thinking, the PC version of TF2 does have hacks. Some would say in fact that it has too many hacks. But hacks in the console sphere didn't really mean what they mean in the PC gaming sphere. In the console space, hacks were cool. Really cool. Aim hacks, model swapping hacks, fucking text all over the screen hacks, hacks that unlocked new weapons and guns, and hacks that gave you fucking XP for free. It's crazy. As a kid in the golden age of console gaming, hacks were the stuff of legend. Getting a hacker in your lobby felt like running into a celebrity or something. I remember going to school and there was this annoying ass kid named Jordan, and he would tell me that somebody hacked in SpongeBob into his Call of Duty game, and I was like, that's not true, Jordan. You can't hack SpongeBob. But while Jordan was lying his ass off, there was one game that actually did have insane multiplayer hacks that allowed for pure chaos during online play. That game, guess what it was? Guess what game it was? Yeah, it was TF2. I knew you were gonna get it. Now, if you aren't a giant nerd, you might sometimes forget that TF2 originally launched with the Orange Box, which was a collection of a bunch of games all bundled together for a nice price. On the PC, this just effectively gave you 5 separate games, but on console, these games all existed on the same disc, unified under one launcher, and all the files could be accessed by any of the 5 games at any time. Now, why does that matter, and what does it even have to do with hacking? Well, hacks on the console version of TF2 were frankly just fucking deranged. G-Man in 2 Fort, Combine Soldier in 2 Fort, fucking somebody's cat or something in 2 Fort. In addition to just generally fucking with the map, any model from any of the 5 games on the Orange Box could be spawned in at will during a regular old public lobby. This shit was just fucking evil. As a guy who could not afford a source-capable PC in the late 2000s, this was the closest thing I ever had to Gmod, and I loved every second of it. Now, hackers were pretty prevalent at the time, even when the game was brand new. Had the console version of TF2 not been such a giant piece of shit anyways, I probably would have been mad that there were so many hackers ruining the game, but frankly the game just wasn't good enough to be ruined. Amongst the countless TF2 console memories that I hold near and dear, almost none of the highlights involve regular vanilla gameplay. They involve fucking big ass truck, giant ass big ass truck. Highlights, that's what the highlights involve. Now obviously I grew up to be very big and handsome, and I eventually got a computer that could run real TF2, and I slowly but surely almost completely forgot about the console version of the game. Online in my adult life, almost nobody was eager to share their positive memories with TF2's Xbox port. The attitude in general was very negative, and I felt like nobody in a million years would ever make content about the console ports of TF2. Because, well,
nobody cares.
Besides, I felt like as an adult, the hacks that were possible in TF2 were starting to lose their novelty a bit. I felt like the boundaries could be pushed much further, but nobody cared enough to do it. That was what I thought, until I came across this strange little guy and his strange little channel. I was searching YouTube one day and realized that there was a severe lack of footage of TF2 console mods online. Which makes sense because getting footage of gameplay in 2009 was not as easy as hitting a button. You had to get one of these, and you had to get one of these, and I don't even know what that is, frankly. So, getting footage of the insane hacks that I was talking about felt nearly impossible. Nobody who was there at the time was keen enough to record any footage of the mods, and there was almost certainly nobody who was still around today who knew how to recreate them. Except, well, frankly, my dear boy, there was. I want you guys to meet Doctor. That's his name, that's just the man's name, it's just Doctor. When I first stumbled upon Doctor's channel, I lost my damn marbles. Imagine if the cool mystery hacker guy from your childhood game lobbies made an entire channel about his cool mystery hacks. Yeah, that's what this is. Now, the hacks that I outlined at the start of this video are pretty cool. It's always nice to see wacky, sandboxy shenanigans take place on the most limited version of TF2 that there is. But what Doctor is doing is different. Doctor has breached the limits of what I frankly thought was even possible when it comes to console modding. He's even breached the limits of what I thought was possible with TF2 modding, period. Take the project that he says he's most proud of, for example. The source mod Watching Paint Dry ported over to the Xbox version of Half-Life 2 Episode 2. What? He's also working on porting over the Halloween spells from modern TF2 into console TF2. There is a treasure trove of crazy ass shit on this guy's channel. Lost Coast on Xbox, beta assets ported back into games, Half-Life 2 maps in TF2, Obama. And while all this technically advanced, insane, evil genius stuff does impress me, it doesn't resonate with me nearly as much as the work Doctor has been doing with Gmod stuff. Seeing GM Construct being rendered out on a console would have blown my mind if I was still 9 years old. The fact that he specifically opted to use the Gmod 10 version, along with the very first version of GM Construct, proves he's pretty self-aware about the nostalgia aspect to what he's doing. I remember being a kid and looking up YouTube videos of people playing Gmod on the Xbox 360, only to realize that they put a monitor that had Gmod on top of it, so it was Gmod on top of the Xbox 360. It was fucking dumb, man. I don't know if I exactly have the words to describe how cool I find this stuff. In a way, it captures the essence of what tinkering with source games felt like way back in the day. Nowadays, it seems like everybody knows how to use Hammer, Blender, VTF Edit, and a myriad of other source development tools, but the work that Doctor is doing harkens back to the days when nobody knew how to do anything. On the PC versions of the game, it's as easy as opening your TF2 installation and looking through all these crazy ass files, but on the console version of TF2, nobody really knew how the sausage was made. As much as the source engine community likes to see itself as better than other communities, it still has its faults. It seems like every discussion regarding Source these days is about beta content or leaks or how much better at using Hammer you are than everybody else, so it's really nice to see someone who's more or less completely detached from all of that, silently making really cool shit while everyone else argues about how good or bad Half-Life 2 is. That's maybe the greatest part of this guy's mods and this guy's videos. They would be cool 2 years after TF2's release or 20 years after TF2's release. If this were just a guy uploading PC mods to his YouTube channel, I probably wouldn't care. Also, I get the chance to talk to Doctor before I made this video, and I'll go over the highlights of that conversation right now. Doctor told me he makes his console mod scripts on the PC with a leaked version of TF2. He also came to the same conclusion that I did in this video, which is that the PC version almost doesn't even allow for this type of stuff. Not in a technical sense, but in a community sense. Furthermore, he would like to credit the general console modding community at large, and says that one man cannot take credit for the efforts of hundreds of console modders across the years. Wow. When I asked Doctor about the nature of his work, he described it as being practically stuck in time, which is a pretty cool way of looking at it. To someone who didn't grow up on these console games, it might just seem like I'm losing my mind over some stupid ass stuff you could do in Gmod in 5 seconds. But I do think that there's something to be said about the rebellious nature of modding and hacking console games, given how high the barrier of entry is and how many preventative measures console companies have in place to stop stuff like this. Frankly, it's just human nature to want to break the rules, even when it comes to games. How those rules are broken though can vary wildly depending on how the rules are set up. People like Doctor, who continue to break the rules in such a unique and cool way, are part of what made playing these games at the time so memorable and so fun. Even if I was just effectively playing Dollar Store Gmod. I am Ratlobber, and thank you for watching this video about TF2 Funny. And remember, TF2 is funny. Bye.
By the power of Cold Fierce awesomeness, I, Gunther Gallopon, rub this planet out of existence!